242. And we're not going to let you leave empty-handed. There's a phone card for you. I want you to look into the camera right there and say, I love playing the Jitney 242.
I love playing the Jitney 242.
I want you to also look in that camera there and say, I love Sean Anthony's ball head.
Where Sean Anthony with the ball head?
Next time on the Jitney 242 ride, I don't know who it could be. Maybe it could be you.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the education minister announcing that the reopening of school will be virtual. Find out whether or not private schools will follow suit. And the Christian Council weighing in on the importance of being vaccinated. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. The education minister announcing some major changes for the 2021-2022 school year during an address to the nation last evening. He says that due to the current health challenges in the country, some adjustments were necessary to ensure that all students, staff, and teachers remain safe. Italia Hall has our top story.
Minister confirming that the way education is delivered has had to change. The Minister of Education, Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, says the ministry understands the difficulty that students face while attempting to concentrate on his or her lessons during the COVID-19 pandemic. And with this in mind, the government has been doing its part to assist students during this time.
We want to thank all of our donors for their most kind assistance to our deserving students in this time. For those families with no electricity or other basic necessities, we distributed thousands of learning packages for students to collect from schools, which were then completed and returned for review and correction by teachers. My beloved Bahamians, many of our students depend on the school system for a lunch meal. The Ministry of Education continued with that program. We even increased it as the need expanded.
He says while schools are generally safe, the healthcare system is under severe strain as it relates to COVID-19, and the Ministry of Education considers that online instruction is best at this time.
The aim is to get our students back in school face-to-face, but we will not put their health and their lives at risk, nor the lives of their teachers, administrators, parents, and staff. We are not insensitive to parents and guardians and their child care needs. And we ask you please to consider carefully the reason for our decision and to bear with us during this brief period in your child's lives. This decision, of course, will be reviewed constantly, weekly, we hope, with the hope that we will return to face-to-face as soon as the public health condition permits. As we did during the last academic year, the return to face-to-face instruction will depend on local conditions on each island. Some schools, small island communities, may return to face-to-face sooner.
He says private schools are encouraged to follow the same format, adding that the ministry's mission remains to provide students with a quality education.
And this is only possible if we maintain a standard of safety first and education always. Just a note, if the infection rates and challenges to our healthcare system continue without respite, online learning will probably dominate the way we deliver instruction in this upcoming school year. Because today, our reality is a mixture of contact tracing and quarantining, mask wearing, and COVID-19 vaccines. We all probably have either been touched by this pandemic or know somebody who has been. And while we believe this will pass, we recognize that in the meantime, life must continue.
The education minister also noting that this year's national examination results were commendable and applauded all students, teachers, staff, and parents. It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Now, in an effort to reduce the chances of experiencing a spike in COVID-19 cases throughout the country, the Ministry of Education has advised that all private institutions commence the new school term virtually as well. Our news team visited a local private institution today to hear their plans for the new school year. Rumiko Knowles has more.
Principal of Tabernacle Baptist Christian Academy, Ashel Bean, says they have decided to follow the mandate of the government and notes that they will begin the 2021-2022 school term virtually.
Basically, for the safety of our students and for our staff members, more than half of our teachers have been fully vaccinated. Nevertheless, we know that a lot of the students may not have been vaccinated, saying that Pfizer has just been FDA approved. So hopefully, by the time we open, a lot of our students would be vaccinated as well. But our teachers it's not mandatory that they're vaccinated, but they chose to do it because we just returned today for the first time to speak with our teachers, and a lot of them, more than half, have been vaccinated. So we're very happy about that.
Bean says they are encouraging parents to have their kids vaccinated ahead of the school year, but it is not mandatory. She adds that as the Institute prepares to open its doors virtually, some parents are not pleased with their decision.
Some parents are for the virtual. I guess these are parents who don't work outside of the home. But then parents who work outside of the home, this is a challenge for them as to who will be home with their kids as they go to work. A lot of parents have took their vacations in the summertime so that they could be home with their kids during the summertime and hoping that school would have reopened. But now school is not opening, so now that puts them in a tight situation as to who's going to be home to ensure that the kids are doing what they're supposed to do virtually.
As the principal, Bean says she prefers the face-to-face method as well and notes that not many parents can afford to purchase the necessary tools for their children to operate virtually.
Trying to get those boxes are very expensive, and so a lot of people just can't afford to do it. So that is going to put us in a funny situation with those kids who just don't have it. A lot of them do not have internet connection, unfortunately, from Dorian. Yes, I know for a fact that those that live up east do not have internet connection.
Now, for those students who may not have a tablet or laptop, she notes that teachers of the school do their best to assist them.
Thankfully for those students, our teachers still push, they still try. They would call and they would ask the parents to come and collect, whatever work that they possibly can collect, or we have a lot of after-school classes and lunchtime classes. Our teachers are very dedicated in that area because they want to see the kids do well, and they know that this is a matter beyond their control, so they do everything that they possibly can to make sure that they keep up or catch up.
Tabernacle Baptist Christian Academy will reopen its doors on Monday, August 30th. Rumiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Meanwhile, the area vice president of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Quintin LaRota, applauding teachers and students for outstanding national exam results during such challenging times. Area Vice President for the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Quintin LaRota, says he was ecstatic to learn of the outstanding national examination results of students here in Grand Bahama. LaRota extending congratulations to students and teachers who went the extra mile after losing classroom time post-Hurricane Dorian.
After a natural disaster like a hurricane, there's no need to try to figure out how much time you got to get back from our teachers. They could do it. They know exactly what needs to be done to get their students where they need to get them. They take a lot of pride in the success of their students, and so I feel ecstatic. I was happy. I'm just happy for them. I mean, in 14 A's in an area, and it is great. And so I think after the hurricane and doing face-to-face during the pandemic and having that level of success. I expect that the Minister of Education or the director will give a little kudos to the Grand Bahama District for a job well done.
A number of schools on the island earned an increase in average grades. LaRota says he believes that once the students and teachers transferred to a virtual environment, they took all of the necessary steps to go above and beyond.
Sometimes when you lose something, you appreciate its value. And I think being away from school for that amount of time and the challenges of the pandemic let everybody see, parents, students, that this thing is valuable and we have to put our best foot forward. I believe that a lot of that is the extra effort and the push that the teachers and the students apply during times of crisis and definitely after them. So I was ecstatic, and I want to congratulate those teachers, students, those parents for a job well done.
He also extended congratulations to parents who had to step up during the challenging times as well. He says these results were a result of team effort.
And I want to congratulate my colleague here in BEMU and Mr. Butler and Dr. Bartlett, who I think, along with our members, sharing this success.
In other news, the Bahamas is now on the Do Not Travel list. This according to a travel advisory dated August 23, 2021. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, issuing a level 4 travel health notice for the Bahamas due to COVID-19, indicating a very high level of COVID-19 in the country. The statement noting that the risk of contracting COVID-19 and developing severe symptoms may be lower if persons are fully vaccinated with an FDA-authorized vaccine, adding that before planning any international travel, one should review the CDC's specific recommendations for vaccinated and unvaccinated travelers. Now, the advisory notes that persons should avoid travel to the Bahamas, but if they must travel to the Bahamas, to make sure they are fully vaccinated before travel, noting that because of the current situation in the Bahamas, even fully vaccinated travelers may be at risk for getting and spreading COVID-19 variants, and the traveler should follow recommendations or requirements in the Bahamas, including wearing a mask and staying 6 feet apart from others. Now, the Ministry of Tourism releasing a statement on the travel advisory, noting that the Bahamas is among a large number of countries, including several Caribbean destinations, for which the CDC has issued a level 4 travel health notice specific to COVID-19 risk. The statement adds that the Bahamas is taking additional precautions to ensure that safety remains of the utmost importance, with strategic entry protocols in place. These entry measures, combined with on-island restrictions as necessary, will help to protect all those who reside in and visit the islands of the Bahamas. Due to the fluidity of COVID-19, the government of the Bahamas monitors islands individually and can quickly enact protective measures to address specific cases or spikes accordingly. The Federal Drug Administration approving the first COVID-19 vaccine yesterday. The Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine will now be marketed for the prevention of COVID-19 disease in individuals 16 years of age and older. The vaccine also continues to be available under emergency use authorization for young people 12 through 15 years of age, and for the administration of a third dose in certain immunocompromised individuals. According to the FDA, the approval means that, quote, the public can be very confident that this vaccine meets the high standards for safety, effectiveness, and manufacturing quality the FDA requires of an approved product, end quote. The FDA says its review for approval included data from approximately 44,000 people and was found to be 91% effective in preventing the COVID-19 disease. Meanwhile, early voting for the upcoming general election has been set for Thursday, September 9th, 2021. All eligible registered voters 65 years or older, overseas voters, and other voters in the specified categories may apply to vote in the advanced poll. Such persons are nominated candidates and their spouses, eligible overseas voters applying with Form J, a confirmed traveler already scheduled to be out of the country on Election Day Proof of travel must be provided. Doctors certified individuals with illness, infirmity, pregnancy, or recently pregnant, and unable to vote on the day of general election. Proof is required. Now, 65 years and older, a copy of the voter's card is needed. Anyone younger than 65 will need proof of the reason why you need to vote early. A copy of your voter's card, along with a government-issued ID, is also needed. Application Form K can be obtained at the Administrator's Office, 8 Mile Rock, on or before September 3rd. Eligible overseas voters must complete and submit the application, Form J, to their nearest Bahamas consular or High Commission office for onward submission to the Parliamentary Registrations Head Office in Nassau on or before August 27th. The Form J is available at Bahamas Consular, High Commission Office, or the Parliamentary Registration Department, Freeport, or Administrator's Office in 8 Mile Rock. A state funeral is set for former Deputy Prime Minister, the late Arthur Dion Hanna, in the nation's capital on Thursday. Last evening, a memorial service was held on the grounds of the Progressive Liberal Party's headquarters here on Grand Bahama. Party supporters turning out to give thanks for the life of Hanna and to pay honor for the many contributions he made to the development of the Bahamas. The late Arthur D. Hanna being described as a champion of the people, one whose work centered on uplifting all Bahamians, and a founding father of the modern Bahamas who fought for equality and social justice. The Progressive Liberal Party celebrating the life of the former parliamentarian and Deputy Prime Minister. Candidates for the upcoming general election paying tribute through reflections under the theme, A Walk Down History. Reverend Dr. Keith Russell delivering the sermon and sharing the biblical story of Joseph. Reverend Russell says that Bahamians can learn 3 important lessons about surviving harsh circumstances. The first is the power of a resilient community and clinging together.
This is one of the messages he tried to champion. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. We Bahamians are somebody. We matter. We are a gift of God. Don't allow anyone to belittle you. Don't allow the king to disregard you and define who you are. Insist that he values you and respects you and learns your name.
Reverend Russell's second lesson, cling to the power of your God-given worth.
I believe that every day of his public life, Arthur Dion Hanna made that commitment and sacrifice. He decided, I'm going to see the king, whether the king is here or the king is somewhere else. I'm going to see the king on behalf of my people, and if I perish. He made it through being abducted from the motherland because God was with us and we stuck together. We made it through the brutality of slavery because God was with us and we stuck together. We made it through the ravages of colonialism because God was with us and we stuck together. And we will make it through these days because God is still with us. But we must stick together. Forget the me and the I. It's all about us and we.
And finally, Reverend Russell says that Bahamians should cling to the power of a watchful, present God.
A.D. Hanna's legacy encourages us to cling to the power of the living God. Do all that is in your power to do, then leave everything else to God.
Prayers were then lifted for the family of the late A.D. Hanna.
And so, Lord God, the bereaved family of the Honorable Arthur D. Hanna, give them your faith and give them your courage. May they have strength to meet the days to come with steadfastness and patience, not soaring as those without hope, but in thankful remembrance of your great goodness.
The country's 7th Governor General, the Honorable Arthur D. Hanna, will be laid to rest Thursday, August 26, in New Providence following a state funeral. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
generators, propane and butane stoves, LED flashlights, fuel canisters, coolers, batteries, gas and electric chainsaws, cooking supplies, tarps, matches, duct tape, and more.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our super-fast fiber internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new, fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
August 28th from noon until 6 p.m., join ATIS for their second annual back-to-school drive-through giveaway at number 3 Thackeray Street across from Caterpillar. To register, call 602-4769.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit for a chance to win a brand new 2021 Toyota RAV4. Every spend gives you an instant entry to qualify. Shop online, at the gas station, or at any POS machine for your chance to win. Competition runs from now until August 31. Activate your power and win with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Approved under Section 61G of the Gaming Act 2014. Applicable to Bahamas only.
It's Third Dimension's clearance sale, August 23rd through the 26th. Take up to 30% off selected items and save big when you shop their bargain bins.
Take your time, take your time. You sure, right here?
Money short.
You sure? All right.
Money short.
Okay, okay. Miss.
You know Lou's a buying, right?
Oh, you must be getting kids be late. Man, I ain't bring no money like that. Plus, you know you greedy.
Well, today is your lucky day.
Oh.
Check out the ZNS Shopping Network. See what deals they have on food.
Look here. Boy, Madcap got some super deals. Check it out. You got a $25 coupon for 15 and a $20 coupon for 10.
Well, Madcap it is.
All right. Hey, I rolling with you, eh?
Log on to ZNSShoppingNetwork.com and get your deals today.
Ice the coconut got this. Cocoa gingerin madness. Juiciness ice the back. This sweet like a sugar in a dripping like ice, huh?
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. An illegal firearm found on Grand Bahama over the weekend. Reports say on Saturday, August 21st, shortly before 3 p.m., officers from Mobile and Northeastern Divisions, acting on information, proceeded to a business establishment situated on Coral Road, where they received information that a fight had taken place inside the establishment. Reports say a male produced a firearm. When officers arrived, a man was seen running from the business establishment into nearby bushes, making good his escape. Officers made checks of the area and found a silver and black revolver with no ammunition. Investigations are continuing. Meantime, 2 Haitians, 1 Jamaican and 4 English nationals arrested for illegal landing on Grand Bahama. According to reports, on Friday, August 20th, shortly before 4 p.m., a team of officers from the Drug Enforcement Unit, Police Marine Unit, along with a team from the 8 Mile Rock Division, acting on information, conducted a joint operation in the area of Dover Sound Waterway. Officers observed a white vessel with twin outboard engines with a number of persons on board. aboard. A chase ensued, resulting in the vessel crashing into the seawall while attempting to evade capture. 3 males were observed fleeing the scene into nearby bushes. Officers intercepted the vessel and arrested 2 adult Haitian females, 1 adult Jamaican male, 1 adult British female, 1 adult British male, 1 British male child, and 1 Canadian male child. They were all handed over to the Bahamas Department of Immigration for further investigation. And that's a look at stories making news this evening. We now turn to sports with our Rumiko Knowles.
This is ZNS Total Sports, your source for sports in the North. Good evening all, I'm Rumiko Knowles. Topping sports, the Bahamas wrapping up competition at the North American, Central American and Caribbean World Under-20 Championships held in Nairobi, Kenya. The Bahamas failed to win a medal, but a number of season's best and personal best times and performances were turned in by members of the team. Nearly 1,000 young athletes from over 100 countries competing in the World Athletics Under-20 Championships. The Bahamas ended up in a 3-way tie for 41st overall in the standings. Junior athlete Lacarthia Cooper saw action on day 1 of the meet, competing in the 100 meters. She placed 7th in that event in a time of 12.30 seconds. Cooper talks about her performance.
The meet on the whole was a great experience, but overall I was disappointed with my performance. I feel like I was too weak because I was sick from COVID before, so I felt like I was too weak. But then I don't want to blame it on that. The air was really thin, you couldn't breathe properly, and I was nervous. So it was so much going on with me. The 12:30, that was horrible. I don't even know. It wasn't my fastest. It was the slowest I ever run for the season.
Now in the 200-meter heats, Cooper was disqualified.
200, I don't know how to feel about it because I didn't expect to get disqualified because I didn't know that I stepped on the line. So it's called lane violation. I didn't know that I stepped on the line because I wasn't focused on that. I was just trying to get to the semifinals. But I came 5th and got disqualified. It was disappointing. I wanted to cry, but it was okay. I just let it pass through. But overall, the meet was good. It was nice to watch people perform. It was nice to meet a lot of new people.
In the history of the World Juniors, the Bahamas has 9 medals, 4 gold and 5 bronze. In WNBA action now, coming off of her 2,000-point milestone, which she achieved on Tuesday, August 17th against the Minnesota Lynx, Jonquel Jones and the Connecticut Suns got their 2nd straight win over the Lynx on Thursday. The final score, 82-71. Jones finished with 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists in 27 minutes of play. The wins pushing Connecticut Suns 17-6 on the season into a first-place tie with Las Vegas atop the WNBA standings. However, that will change as both teams are set to tip off tonight. Now in week 9 of play, Jonquel Jones is averaging 18 points per game, 11.7 rebounds per game, and 3.3 assists per game. The impressive stat line has made her the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Congratulations to Jones. And that was your check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Rumiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
Clearance sale August 23rd through the 26th. Take up to 30% off selected items and save big when you shop their bargain bins.
Bellevue Gifts is a household name that has educated generations with the best and affordable supplies. Now through September 4th, get 15% off workbooks, school supplies, and teacher's aids. Bellevue Gifts and Supplies. See in-store details for more specials.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard debit card.
It's back to school at Park and Shop and Dollar Plus with VAT-free items galore. From now until September 6th, you can save on uniform shirts and pants, belts, underwear, socks, and backpacks at Park and Shop. It's Dollar Plus for all your school supplies and hair accessories. Get black and white books, notebooks, crayons, erasers, markers, sharpeners, scissors, pens, and folders. Visit Park and Shop and Dollar Plus for your VAT-free back-to-school needs.
The quality goes in before the name goes on, and I can say that about this juice and Jamaica Bahama products.
Well, normally I buy the pigeon peas because it tends to be more natural and it's something that we grow in our yard, and so when I don't have any, that's the next substitute, best thing for it.
My favorite product is the corned beef, the taste and the texture. When I cook it, there's nothing much you need to add in it. It's very delicious.
Could you tell me why you choose JBI coconut water?
Well, personally, it just tastes better to me.
I saw the brand, the flag, the Bahamian flag actually attracted me.
JBI is the best. You know, we're American and we're new down here, and we tried other brands, and JBI, the jasmine and rice brand, was the best.
I cook a lot of soup, and it's really good. I love the flavor. It's better than the other ones.
Because it's very authentic, and I just love your product.
Buy JBI.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Drea Roll, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you so much for your support. That's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Thank you so much for joining us. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the national report, the pandemic and a general election. How will things fare? Two former prime ministers weigh in on the upcoming election. Third parties unite and virtual learning makes a return. Those stories and more when the Bahamas tonight, the national report returns.
Hurricane season is here, so now's the time to start checking off your list. Make note of what you have. Test your batteries, radio, flashlights, and the expiry date on your first aid kit. You may have to replace a few things. Then make sure you have at least 1 gallon of drinking water per day for each person, 2 weeks supply of non-perishable food, a cooler for ice, and if you have an infant, pack a bag of baby items. Keep spare toilet paper, paper towels, and sanitation wipes, along with cleanup supplies, trash bags, waterproof packaging for personal documents, and mosquito repellent. Have 2 extra face masks per person and enough hand sanitizer and life vests for everyone in the household. And have a plan. If shelter gets compromised, plan with household members beforehand how you will escape. That might mean having a knife, axe, crowbar, or other tool to pry open a door, window, or roofing in an emergency. For more information and a full hurricane prep checklist, visit ZNSBahamas.com.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. It's always good having you with us. Since last week's announcement of a September 16th general election, the public has questioned why now, and that's given the obvious. COVID-19 continues to ravage the Bahamas, and experts say the public healthcare system is literally at breaking point. Cleopatra Murphy leads us off tonight with a number of cabinet ministers defending the move to call a snap election.
Minister of National Security, the Honorable Marvin Dames, is confident the Bahamas can hold safe elections despite positive COVID-19 cases in the country soaring. For August alone, the Bahamas recorded more than 2,000 new COVID-19 infections, with 159 recorded on Sunday's health dashboard. Despite some questioning if it would be best to hold off until elections are due next year, Dames doesn't believe so.
There are persons out there who will come and say these things, but they can't offer you any sensible alternative. And I say, well, oh, this is not a good time. All right, if it's not a good time, when is a good time?
He says the globe may have to deal with the virus for a few more years, adding that the Prime Minister was within his right to set the election date when he did.
And now we have to prepare and get ready for the elections. Who knows what next year will bring? It might be worse than this time. No one expected that the Delta variant would have, been so pervasive.
Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, says government has imposed restrictions for this political season, but it is also crucial that elections be held in the shortest period of time.
There are variants all over the world right now. All over the world. At least 5 other variants out there. It's important for us to do what we have to do to protect the Bahamian people. So we have to be careful. All of us have to ensure that we are safe. But it's important for us to be able to have this mandate at this time.
Minister of Tourism and Aviation, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, says the timing of elections will not make a big difference once protocols are adhered to.
If persons decide to campaign and be unvaccinated and to use large crowds, then they're being irresponsible. But I know certainly in my team, I'm exercising the protocols as suggested by the health department, and I feel that we can conduct it safely. And I certainly am using those strategies in my campaign.
Bahamians will head to the polls on September 16th to decide the course of the country for the next 5 years. Health officials are looking at protocols that will include sanitization of pencils and other tools that will be needed at polling stations to limit the spread of COVID-19. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Now, there's also the question of how will those in quarantine be able to vote? Well, here's how National Security Minister, the Honorable Marvin Dames, responded just 3 weeks shy of the general election.
Under the orders, it says that you would have to quarantine, okay? Again, that would be an issue I would think that the competent authority would make much clearer.
Minister Dames also providing some insight on vaccinations within the uniformed branches. This on the heels of the Defense Force Commodore's sentiments last evening that COVID-19 measures are unsustainable and the absence of officers due to the illness threatens national security.
There is a clause, and we would have had some discussions on that, but we're not at that stage yet. And I think which way you really want to go is to say, will the armed forces be forced to vaccinate? I've had these discussions already with the press, and what we are looking at is ways to get those persons who have yet to be vaccinated. So we don't want to get into the business at this stage of saying, oh, we're going to force you to vaccinate, we're going to do this. But as I said before, we're looking at all options because at the end of the day, what we want to ensure is that our agencies are not decimated as a result of COVID. And that is just being responsible. But after having said that, these offices and these respective agencies are continuing to go and get vaccinated, and we're encouraged by that, and we just hope more will.
Well, one of the primary general election items on the to-do list at the Parliamentary Registration Department is organizing the advanced poll. Kelsey Johnson has more details on what's to come September 9th.
A new category added to the list of potential advanced poll voters and 23 locations identified for the over 30,000 applicants. Technology also playing an important part in the process, giving those persons living overseas an opportunity to be a part of the count. They can access the virtual application by scanning any one of the barcodes on the registration's website, www.elections.gov.bs or www.mygateway.gov.bs. Parliamentary Commissioner Livardo Duncanson explains the other ways potential voters can register to vote.
If the person walks up to one of our center, fill out one of our forms, that individual can leave the form at that center and the form can receive attention. Also at our centers, there is the electronic interactive form that is available on our website. That form, the individual can complete the form online. Once they complete the form online, there is a link to the bottom of that form where the individual can click on that link, and the link takes the completed form directly to one of our email addresses, which it eliminates that need for the completion of the form by way of pen.
Some 23 locations were also listed, 10 in New Providence, 4 in Grand Bahama, and 9 overseas voting locations, inclusive of London, England, Ottawa, Canada, Kingston, Jamaica, Port of Spain, Trinidad, Bridgetown, Barbados, Washington, D.C., New York City, Atlanta, and Miami in the USA. A Houston location is being considered. If you happen to be residing in any of those areas, here's how you can vote.
Students studying a bona fide program of study outside of the Bahamas, member staff of the Ministry of Tourism, the Bahamas Maritime Authority, or on any embassy, high commission, or other foreign mission staff of the Bahamas posted overseas, and the spouse and immediate family members living within the household of that member staff. Such persons would need to apply by way of a Form J. Other categories of persons eligible to vote during the advance poll includes the following, who will be required to complete a Form K: a person with a disability or who is age 65 or older, a registered voter likely to be on election day, a patient in any hospital, nursing home, home for the aged, or other institution for the treatment of any chronic illness or disability.
Expected mothers and those who recently gave birth are also eligible and are asked to complete Form K. Submission deadline is August 27th for all overseas voters and September 4th for the New Providence and Grand Bahama locations. Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Network News.
Well, time isn't long, still 20-plus days out of the general election, and a group of independents have banded in hopes of standing as a formidable force, a force promising not a run for parliament, not one for politics, but for country.
And when we look around this room, what we have here today is the new day. What we have here today is about your future.
Playing on the election slogans of the two political giants, the governing Free National Movement and the official opposition, the Progressive Liberal Party, 3 independent groups have thrown down their swords and, following a 5-day meeting of the minds, have united. And leading the movement, Cassius Stewart, who up to last week rubbed shoulders with other third parties in Parliament Square as head of the Bahamas Democratic Movement.
What this united coalition has done is chosen the best of the best from among all our candidates so that we could finally put together what we call the dream team. We have the best from Ali McIntosh team, the best from Gad Rusborough team, the best from the BDM, the best from among the independents, so that we could finally put together an alternative government.
The UCP's mandate to make the Bahamas the first in everything, and that includes healthcare and education.
We're going to revamp our whole entire educational system, and we're going to make sure that we can produce the best students at all levels. This is our goal, this is our promise. We have to make sure that we restore our economy.
Among them, the UCP has 3 incumbents: Halson Moultrie, who will try his hand again for the Nassau Village constituency, independent Centerville candidate Reese Chipman, and Frederick McAlpine, who this time around is running as an independent in Pine Ridge. The UCP is expected to release its full slate of candidates in a few days, and this as it continues talks with the Democratic National Alliance. Well, the call to register to vote has been echoed some time ago with the expanded voter registration drive launched in February of this year. 2 Bahamians who know the exact details of calling and organizing a general election are former Prime Ministers, the Right Honourable Hubert Ingraham and the Right Honourable Perry Christie. Reacting to the announcement of an early election, both former leaders explained to reporters this morning how they handled the process when they were in charge.
We gave everybody an opportunity to register to vote. We announced in advance, listen, if you want to register to vote in this election, please register by the end of the month or by the 15th or whatever day it was, and gave people lots of time to be able to register, transfer their voters, etc.
Given the snap election, Prime Ministers have the right to do that. He indicated that he wanted fixed elections himself, but he didn't do it. Right? And so our system allows him to call elections, and the people of the Bahamas will determine.
Well, still to come, the tourism minister not at all surprised by the latest U.S. travel advisory, and here education's plans for the new school year. Those stories and more when we return. And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m., followed by the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern edition at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m., all right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil. Shell's Summer of Fun.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Elevate your experience with BTC Superfast Fiber Home Internet, which unlocks unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming for as low as $50 per line. Enjoy more savings and value with internet speeds of up to 600 megabits per second and all the connectivity you need on the go. An elevated experience starts with BTC at home, powering unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming plus great savings. Visit a BTC store or btcbahamas.com for more details.
Meeting at KFC, John was appointed the savings ambassador. Get a mega crazy bundle with 9 pieces of freshly prepared, hot and juicy KFC chicken and mega-sized servings of creamy coleslaw and fluffy mashed potatoes smothered in home-style gravy. All for only $22. Save like an expert, only on Tuesdays and only at KFC Nassau.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. Your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard Debit Card.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Another record-breaking day in the ongoing fight against COVID-19 as 159 positive cases were reported on Monday. The majority of those cases right here on New Providence, 117 to be exact, followed by 15 in Abaco, 12 on Andros, 8 on Grand Bahama, 3 new cases on Bimini and Cat Key, 2 cases on the Berry Islands, and 1 new case each on Eleuthera and Exuma. Those cases that comprise 85 women and 74 men bring the total nationwide to 17,545. 3,356 of them are active. 8 of those New Providence cases, 1 from Abaco, and the single Exuma case have a travel history within 14 days. There's a somewhat slight decrease in COVID-19 hospitalizations. 139 people are being treated, 11 in the intensive care unit, and 128 listed as moderately ill. 70 cases are at the Princess Margaret Hospital, 31 at Doctors Hospital, and 28 at the Grand Bahama Health Services. 3 people recently recovered from the virus, while the COVID-19 death toll remains at 338. While the Minister of Health's meantime optimistic that COVID-19 vaccination numbers will continue to improve now that the Pfizer vaccine has been granted full approval. He also shed light on plans to further boost vaccination amidst continued hesitancy. We go to Cleopatra Murphy for the story.
With the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine finally getting full U.S. Food and Drug Administration approval for persons 16 and older on Monday, Minister of Health the Honorable Renford Wells wants to see the assurance that brings translate into increased local vaccination numbers.
I'm hoping it does, that it's been moved from emergency use listing now to having been approved. It may lend some credence for some, but I do believe, given what I've seen from in July, before we actually got our 3rd tranche of AstraZeneca, the lines were long for Bahamians. I mean, they were wrapped around the vaccine sites for Bahamians who were saying, listen, we've looked at the data, we realize our national circumstance, and we are now here to say we want to get vaccinated.
When it comes to the rollout of the Pfizer vaccine on Grand Bahama, the Minister of Health says he does not have a definitive date yet on when that begins. Chair of the National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee, Dr. Merceline Dalregis, expressed concern about the uptake of vaccine on that island last week. Wells says officials intend to ramp up the campaign for those who remain hesitant.
We have an informational campaign for the anti-vaxxers and those who would have had issues with the particular vaccine, seeking to answer those questions. But we are working on Grand Bahama, but just not Grand Bahama, the country in general, seeking to ensure that Bahamians have the requisite answers to their questions so that they feel comfortable enough.
The country now has access to 3 vaccines, including Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and AstraZeneca, some of which have been donated. Of an estimated $3 million government allocated to purchase vaccines, Wells estimates $1.5 million has been spent.
We would have put down $45,000 on the Johnson & Johnson, and I believe in total the Johnson & Johnson is going to cost us somewhere a little over $300,000 that we're paying through the African platform, because it's Africa and the Caribbean that has come together. So the Bahamas is paying the Bank of Africa that actually purchased all of the vaccines. So
up to Saturday, 55,291 people in the country had been fully vaccinated, with 129,017 doses administered. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, it's a no for any vaccination plans for shantytown communities. That, according to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Public Works, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, who says vaccination centers are not immigration centers. Keep in mind that in order to get vaccinated, proof of official identification must be submitted.
I believe the Prime Minister has asked everybody to vaccinate, and I hope that people are going to vaccinate. And you take the opportunity based on the invitation. You know, we have the major vaccines here now, 3 of them. You have the Pfizer, you have Johnson & Johnson, and you have AstraZeneca. You have your choice. And anybody who's here ought to take advantage of that. I strongly encourage Bahamians. I can't say it strongly enough. I strongly encourage everybody to vaccinate. Please, for your own safety. If not for your own safety, and I tell people this in public life, for the safety of the people you come in contact with.
The U.S. State Department's decision to add the Bahamas to a list of countries American travelers should avoid coming as no surprise to the Tourism and Aviation Minister. The Honorable Dionisio D'Aguilar acknowledging to reporters this morning that the downgrade was inevitable given the country's continued surge in COVID-19 cases.
The number of cases, positive cases, had been increasing for quite some time. And I guess it's the result of, and why the message has constantly been from the government, that everybody get vaccinated. The only way we're going to reduce the level of positive cases is if everybody heeds the call of the Prime Minister and go and get vaccinated.
Now, come September 3rd, the Bahamas will require cruise passengers 12 years and older to be fully vaccinated in order for those ships to come to port. The move making international headlines, leaving Royal Caribbean and MSC to now offer refunds to passengers. Now, as for the country's downgrade, D'Aguilar says despite the increased cases, the Bahamas is in a better position than the U.S. when it comes to new infections.
90% of our foreign visitors come from the United States. And if they were to be truthful to themselves and they were to rank themselves, they would be like a level 6. Okay, so the Bahamas is a safe place. We have entry protocols which have proven to be safe. And, you know, we've clamped down or tightened some of our protocols for persons coming in by air and persons coming in by cruise ship. And, you know, we're walking that fine line that the Prime Minister always talks about. We got to keep our economy open because we need to live and we need to eat, but at the same time maintaining some safety in our health protocols.
In related news this evening, extensive discussions between health and education officials ending with the decision to start the 2021-2022 academic year virtually come Monday, August 30th. Education Minister, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, explaining in a back-to-school address last evening that while face-to-face learning remains the preferred learning method for students nationwide, the mandate of safety first, education always, is paramount. And that's the health and safety of students, administrators, principals, teachers, staff, guests, and the public.
It is now an indisputable fact that the country's health resources, both public and private, are fully maximized. And while our schools are generally safe with a healthcare system already under severe strain, the ministry considers that out of an abundance of caution regarding containment of the possible spread of COVID-19, the Ministry of Education considers that online instruction is best at this time to assist the country in reducing the chances of experiencing a spike in COVID-19 cases. Again, as the aim is to get our students back in school face-to-face, but we will not put their health and their lives at risk, nor the lives of their teachers, administrators, parents, and staff. We are not insensitive to parents and guardians and their childcare needs, and we ask you please to consider carefully the reason for our decision and to bear with us during this brief period in your child's lives.
Minister Lloyd did admit that the return to face-to-face instruction will depend on conditions on each island, although schools on small island communities may return to that method sooner than other islands once health officials deem it safe to do so. He also reiterated the Ministry of Education's appeal for all private schools to engage their students on a virtual platform. However, those independent schools who desire to proceed with face-to-face learning must receive the ministry's written approval.
In all of our decisions, we will be guided and directed by the health authorities. And based on the current state of our economy and our country, and progressively with the rising COVID-19 cases, we believe that our 2021-2022 academic year will continue to fluctuate between face-to-face, hybrid, and online. And that fact brings me to the issue of parental influence on student achievement. There is a vital need for our parents to maintain an ongoing collaboration with their child's school and teacher, even more so when faced with the remoteness of online learning.
Well, the Catholic Board of Education's heeding the advice of the Education Minister. The new academic year will also find it using the virtual platform for all grade levels, and that's pre-K to grade 12. CBE Director Claudette Roll confirming in a release today that that decision was made in consultation with both the Ministry of Education as well as the Ministry of Health in the face of increasing COVID-19 cases, particularly among the younger population. Now, the orientation dates and times for each grade will be communicated by individual schools. Meantime, timetables for the remote learning models have been drafted. There is, however, the assurance that as soon as it can safely be done, Catholic schools will resume hybrid and face-to-face learning. In fact, in preparation for this, all classrooms have been reconfigured to adhere to physical distancing, class sizes have been reduced, and seats are limited.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Car insurance, home insurance, marine insurance, this insurance, that insurance. The truth is, you may not like it very much, but you need insurance, and it has to work for you. That's why Summit insurance policies are designed with you and your life in mind, fitting your lifestyle and needs perfectly. So you can rest comfortably knowing that your car, home, boat, and business are well taken care of. Contact our agents at Insurance Management today. Summit Insurance, we peak above all others.
So, Tamika, I know it's your first day, but we need a few things for the office. We need notepads for the boardroom, paper clips, staplers, trash bins for new staff, a monitor for Jason in accounting, a case of pens, a box of copier paper, and Ted here needs a new desk chair. Oh, and glue. I'll need all of these by noon. Got it?
But where am I supposed to get all this stuff by noon?
John Bull Business Center.
John Bull Business Center?
Of course. And while you're there, I need 200 copies of this. And speak to Michelle about delivery of my furniture. I'm having my office remodeled.
Got it. Because they have a copy center and a contract furniture department. I knew that.
I think you might just work out.
Get everything your company needs in one convenient location. Check out the copy center and our contract furniture department. If you want to show everyone in the office you mean business, then there's only one place to go. John Bull Business Center. We mean business.
Almost every journey starts with your car. We spend most of the early stages of our lives anticipating getting our first set of wheels. When that moment finally comes, let AID be there for all your auto needs. Make it yours by accessorizing, maintaining, and repairing your car with AID. Whether you're a professional mechanic, a recent graduate, a full-time mom, or an I can fix that kind of guy. Or if you're completely clueless about what your car needs, AID will assist in providing a large variety of auto parts, a diagnostic center, and great customer service. For all life's auto journeys, we're here. AID, all you really need and more.
How's your day going?
In a word, busy. 6 a.m. gym, 7 a.m. breakfast, 8 a.m. drop the kids to school, 9 to 3 back-to-back meetings with working lunch, of course, 4 p.m. pick up the kids, 4:15 dog groomer. Oh, but that reminds me, oh dear.
Is something wrong?
Yeah, I double booked my 6 p.m. Charity committee versus helping out at the kids' ballet. Oh, it's a tough one. I promised the kids.
Which one are you going to reschedule?
Neither. Divide and conquer. My husband can handle his own on the dance floor.
It's a good thing your money's been just as busy.
RF, keeping your money busy with investment products and services that match your needs.
Come next month, there will be many Bahamians voting for the very first time. Some of them shared their views with our Desmond Saunders.
With just 3 weeks remaining before voters head to the polls to elect a government to steer the affairs of the country for the next 5 years, a number of Bahamians are eager expressing their views on the overall democratic process.
It's nothing new. I think everybody in the country, this is something that all of us as citizens have to do. So I just feel, I wouldn't say excited, but I feel like this is my duty.
21-year-old Deantes Knowles will be heading to the polls for the first time. While somewhat optimistic about the process, he wants political parties to provide more details about their plans and the way forward.
Now, I want to know more about like healthcare and schools and how you expect to deplete the depth of the country. I want to know what are you doing for my people in general.
42-year-old registered voter Tomiko Stubbs also wants the next government to address these issues.
I would like issues addressed more likely for the schooling, better schooling for the kids, and a better transparency for the young folks. You know, giving them a better feel of what the government planning on doing for our new generation that's coming up.
This voter wants the relevant authorities to ensure equity and full equality for those physically challenged and unfettered access when heading to the polls.
Say, for example, have the right steps as to, what you call it now, the wheelchair ramps in which you can get up and down. They can have more accessibility as for the I don't want to use the word blind, but the self-impaired individual so that they can get up and down these particular places.
And there are feelings of resentment from this unregistered voter who cannot cast a ballot this time around.
Whoever takes office, what are those issues important to you? Create opportunities for the youth to earn some money.
Over 190,000 persons are on the current voter register, and with election fever in high gear, Bahamians far and wide will set the tone for the next general election and the next 5 years.
Desmond Saunders, ZNS Network News.
Shifting our attention now to news on the business front, 2 new companies on the horizon following share offerings launched just this week, giving Bahamians a bite into the economic pie of development. Lloyd Allen explores the launch of Arawak X's IPO of Red Lobster Bahamas and Bahama MiFi in this week's Market Insider.
Considered one of the newest players of the securities stage, Arawak X on Monday launching 2 new IPOs, Red Lobster Bahamas and Bahama MiFi, an augmented reality service provider for visitors to our shores.
It is truly an opportunity for us to connect with everybody out there who wants to be a part of Red Lobster. And that happens next year.
So we provide solutions for the tourists as well as solutions for the B2B customers. Right? It's a complete platform, and it's totally scalable. And the idea was to use Nassau, the Bahamas, as the testing grounds, okay, and then to move to other territories.
Arawak X Chief Technology Officer D'Arcy Ramming Jr. explains that there is a registration process for reputable locals to invest in either company.
What we as the exchange, what we're licensed to do is to make sure that they're structured properly so that when you put your money in, you can get your money back out. And now with crowdfunding, the average person can participate.
Both Pinnacle and Bahama MiFi are seeking to raise some $2.7 million and $2.1 million, respectively, to fuel the launch of each enterprise. Co-chair of the Economic Recovery Committee, Marlon Johnson, says the thrust of ventures like this through Arawak X is what is hoped to restore economic growth in diverse ways.
This is also the culmination and representative of actually that particular recommendation coming to life in the enabling regulation that has allowed for Arawak X to come onto a platform to be fully regulated, and also, and just as importantly, to allow other potential entrepreneurs who want to put together similar platforms anywhere in the Bahamas to be able to do so.
So if you are interested in purchasing stocks in either company, you would visit the Arawak X website, where you would answer a series of questions which help them to build your portfolio, known as a KYC document.
KYC documentation is there so we know who you are, so we can register these assets appropriately. So as you're going through, when we ask for passport, NIB card, voter's card, etc., we need that information so that when the subscription is successful, then we know how to register it.
For this week's Market Insider, Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Tomorrow, a big day for Executive Director of the Access Accelerator Small Development Center, Davinia Bain. She's a panelist at the first ever Women Economic Forum Caribbean in Puerto Rico. It's an international platform that connects more than 250,000 attendees in 200 countries. The Caribbean element will attract more than 30,000 virtual attendees from the region and the world. The forum, endorsed by the United Nations Women and the U.S. Agency for International Development, promotes economic inclusivity across the Caribbean. Bain will address the topic, where are the women investors that impact entrepreneurship in the region?
In the Bahamas, we have to do a lot better job of developing a culture of investment. We don't have a very organized angel investing network in the Bahamas, and so looking forward to participating in this initiative specifically to encourage female investors to become very organized in the way they approach investing in any type of business, whether it's a female business or a male business. But obviously the topic of the day is for the investment in women entrepreneurs, which we want to see more female angel investors in the Bahamas participate in.
Well, flags flown at half-mast as the body of former Governor General, the Most Honorable Arthur Hanna, lies in state. Keishla Adderley tells us about the dignitaries among those turning out for this morning's viewing in the foyer of the House of Assembly.
Face to face with a legacy that predates an independent Bahamas, Governor General, the Most Honorable Cornelius Smith, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, and Opposition Leader Philip Brave Davis, and others, leading off official tributes to the Most Honorable Arthur Hanna, the former Governor General, Deputy Prime Minister, and agitator for independence and Bahamianization. His Excellency Hanna was appointed to the delegation that represented the Progressive Liberal Party at a constitutional conference in the United Kingdom, which produced the blueprint for an independent Bahamas. His daughter, Angliston MP Glenys Hanna Martin, saying goodbye to the man who perhaps inspired her political career. Living to the age of 93, Mr. Hanna was able to see the policies he shaped realized as former Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Perry Christie, recalls.
And after majority rule, he persuaded and cajoled his colleagues to move to independence, and eventually we did it. Secondly, A.D. Hanna was the quintessential Bahamian. He became synonymous with Bahamianization, the policy of Bahamianization. He articulated it and he executed it, and he became widely known for it.
Mr. Hanna, a native of Pompey Bay, Acklands, served as a Progressive Liberal Party Member of Parliament for the Annestown constituency between 1960 and 1992. The phrase, "wipe every tear from every eye," often quoted as a summary of the man former Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Hubert Ingram, said was both nurturing and progressive.
The government determined it needed to have a new housing policy. There hadn't been a new housing development by the government for many years. And we did the Elizabeth Estates, and then Flamingo Gardens. And the list goes on of the things that he was involved in here in the Bahamas. In terms of the public sector, he promoted senior public officers and Bahamians to take positions that had previously been occupied by English persons and non-Bahamians. He was the first Minister of Education under the PLP government.
And posthumously, the man who refused to accept Queen's honours will be royally memorialised as he is to replace Queen Elizabeth on the $100 note. The funeral service for Mr. Hanna is set for Thursday at 11 a.m. at Christ Church Cathedral. Keishla Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. Your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard debit card.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Summer is here, and Shell presents a summer of fun. Win $30,000 in prizes when you spend $20 in fuel at any Shell location. Now through September 10th. Experience incredible hotel stays in the Family Islands and Nassau. Win thousands of dollars in fuel, groceries, and electronic devices. Fuel up today and submit your receipt by WhatsApp, email, and Facebook. Follow us on Facebook for more chances to win with Shell. Terms and conditions apply.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
That initial positive COVID-19 case in Ragged Island that health officials later discovered originated in New Providence didn't sit well with residents of the Small Islands community. You see, Ragged Island has yet to record a positive case of COVID-19 since the pandemic began last March. We spoke with Exuma and Ragged Island Administrator Deborah Moxie Roll about the matter earlier today.
Absolutely none. There were initial concerns at the onset on Friday when the notice came out, because, you know, Ragged Island is a very small community, and they were able to account for everyone. There was construction crew down there. They were able to account for their staff. And so they began to be very concerned on Fridays. But by Saturday morning, I had spoken to health officials who stated that it was somebody who tested from New Providence, so everything was okay.
What is the secret to Ragged Island remaining COVID-free?
Well, I think the very small population has something to do with it, and the fact that they spend a lot of their time outdoors. But they're also taking every precaution for the COVID safety protocols.
Defense Force Commodore Dr. Raymond King spent last week in the Southern Bahamas getting an update on the force's Southern Command operations. Commodore King conducted a comprehensive inspection of all facilities at HMBS Gunpoint Ragged Island and HMBS Matthew Town, Inagua. In Ragged Island, the Commodore viewed the infrastructural development of a fuel farm to increase fueling capacity for Defense Force vessels. Touring the National Emergency Management Agency's warehouse and the Defense Force's Deployment Hurricane Action Preparedness Plan topped the agenda over in Inagua. Dr. King also inspected the Bahamas Maritime Surveillance System to review the multi-layered security network of the long-range coastal radar. The tour included reconnaissance patrol flights across the southeastern Bahamas. Well, it's now time for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, McKishler. Outside of our studios, we are under partly sunny skies. Temperature a warm 91 degrees. The relative humidity at 48%. We have northerly winds at 2 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,016.0 millibars. That's 29.97 inches, and your pressure is falling. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 86 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Tool, Key, and Marsh Harbor, Abaco, the Berry Islands, 88. Alistown, Bimini, 86 degrees, 86 also in Harbour Island. Rockstown, Eleuthera, 85, 86 in Black Point, Exuma, Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. In Otterstown, Cat Island, 85 degrees. San Salvador and Rum Key, 85, 84 in Georgetown, Exuma. Rygut Island, Clarence, San Long Island, and Crooked Island, also 84. 80 degrees in Betsy Bay, Maguana, and Acklands, Matthewtown, and Agua, 84, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern islands tonight, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide takes place at 10-12 tonight. And in the central and southeastern islands, we'll have a more easterly flow at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet. That means caution flags are in place for the central and southeastern islands tonight. And then tomorrow, which is Wednesday, the winds backing northeast to east ahead of a tropical wave that will be moving through the chain of islands. Speeds picking up 15 to 20 knots. Wave heights building 4 to 7 feet. So caution flag will once again be posted for the Northwest Bahamas tomorrow. High tide on Wednesday, 10:36 in the morning. Low tide at 4:48 in the afternoon. In the central and southeastern islands, winds east to southeast, 15 to 20 knots. Wave heights 4 to 7 feet. The caution flags continue. And then on Thursday, in the northwestern islands, the winds become easterly. They fall off 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights down 2 to 4 feet. We'll drop the caution flag for your boaters then. High tide will take place at 11:19 in the morning with the low tide at 5:34 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Friday, also a slight reduction in the winds from 15 to 20. They go down to 12 to 18 knots, maintaining that southeast component, and wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So the caution flags will hold right through Thursday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Mom, from the other night, we had a good night when you disappeared on me. Where you going? But hey, y'all, where you been, y'all? I've been looking for you, looking for you. But hey, y'all, where you been, y'all? I've been looking for you. I've been chilling out by the bar last night. This y'all, she was looking nice, she blew my mind. Right on the side.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. The extended weather forecast is still ahead.
I said I live alone, jump in my ride, and come with me.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
That's why we got the
It's Shay here, and welcome to our first installment of Alive's Community Corner. Not only is Alive a digital service provider, and beyond those great deals and services that we provide you, Alive is committed to the community. So here's a look at what we did for Mother's and Father's Day. this episode, and we look forward to sharing with you so many more of our community moments. So why Alive? Because you deserve it.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit for a chance to win a brand new 2021 Toyota RAV4. Every spend gives you an instant entry to qualify. Shop online, at the gas station, or at any POS machine for your chance to win. Competition runs from now until August 31. Activate your power and win with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Approved under Section 61G of the Gaming Act 2014. Applicable to Bahamas only.
Hi, I'm Franklin Butler, and I want to talk to you about financial resilience.
Financial resilience is the ability to withstand and recover from temporary financial hardship and disruptions.
Number one, let's talk about delayed gratification. In our house, we were taught that you can either save up front or you can save down back. So what does saving up front mean? Every week, you can set aside $5, $10 toward that gift, toward that down payment, toward whatever you want, or you can go to the bank and borrow it and pay 12% interest. And who wants to do that? Number two, let's talk about separating your needs from your wants. Now, this is an interesting story. Being a butler, in our household, we learned the lesson about needs and wants because my father made it very clear that on that t-shirt day, do you really need that t-shirt? Coincidentally, that resulted in just me and my two brothers. We were the only two kids without t-shirts and jeans on a t-shirt day. Imagine that. Number three, think about your hobbies and think about your profession. You can get paid for your hobbies, guys. I encourage you. You may be a beautician, you may be a barber, you may be a musician. Think about how you can leverage your downtime when you're not actually working to make extra money through your trades and your gifts. That is the only way I've learned how to be truly financially resilient.
This message was brought to you by the Securities Commission of the Bahamas.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
The Bahamas' track and field team on its way home after competing at the Under-20 World Junior Championships in Kenya, Africa. There were reports of the team being stuck after 9 members of the Jamaican contingent tested positive for COVID-19. While appearing live on the morning edition, team manager Nikita Charlton gave this update.
Team Bahamas is presently in Johannesburg, South Africa. We left Kenya yesterday, and we are now awaiting an invitation from the U.S. Embassy to enter the U.S. So all is well. Team Bahamas left Kenya. Everyone was negative, tested, and we're just waiting on the invitation from the U.S. Embassy.
Now, Charlton also explained the need for the U.S. invitation.
Well, the invitation from the U.S. Embassy, besides your B1 visa, it's stipulations that was put in place by, I guess, the Trump administration. So that's it. That is the only holdup now. But we were due to get Minister Lewis was very influential in helping to get us started with that, and we should be sorted out by this evening. But due to the time difference, because right now in Johannesburg we are 6 hours ahead of time, so it's 1:30 now. So because of the time difference yesterday when we got in contact with Minister Lewis, that is why it was at the end of the day. So we should be up and ready to travel at least by this evening, Johannesburg time.
For the third time this season, Jonquil Jones has been named the WNBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week after helping the Connecticut Sun to 3 wins to start the second half of the season. She averaged 18.7 points, 11.7 rebounds, and 3 assists per game during the span. It's the 10th time in her 5 years in the league that she's won the award. The Suns back in action tonight at 7, taking on the Las Vegas Aces in their 3rd game of a 5-game homestand. The Sun own a 2-0 advantage over Vegas this season.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Check off all your items at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow Spaghetti and Meatballs, 15-ounce, 99 cents. Feliz Ready Cut Macaroni, 14-ounce, 99 cents. Amarlanda Fresh Milk, 33.8-ounce, 2 for $2.75. Boneless strip steaks, $8.99 per pound. Yellow onions, 3-pound bag, $2.99. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. with double stamps on Sundays at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. Your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard Debit Card.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our super-fast fiber internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Andros is the #1 bone fishing destination on our planet. Sports fishermen visit our flats every year to participate in one of the most fulfilling outdoor activities known to man, fly fishing. And guess what? It's 100% sustainable. Without areas like the west side of Andros, sustaining this industry would be absolutely impossible. So let's take care of nature, and nature will take care of us.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather in the tropics, we have a broad area of low pressure, some 1,000 miles to the east-northeast of the northern Leeward Islands. It is trekking towards the northwest. Right now, it has about a 20% chance of developing. Over the 5 days, that will bump up to 70%, but the good news is that will be heading more towards Bermuda, so we need not be too concerned. And then there's a second area of low pressure. This one several hundred miles to the south-southwest of the Cape Verde Island. A 20% chance at the moment. That will bump up to 30%, but in the long term, it is expected to encounter some hostile atmospheric conditions, and we could see this thing wasting away. So nothing significant coming out of this system. A third one in the Caribbean Sea. It's a tropical wave. We expect an area of low pressure to form sometime by the weekend in this orange area here, and as it continues to trek towards the west-northwest, it will start to increase shower activities in the southeast Bahamas beginning tomorrow. That will gradually spread into the central Bahamas and eventually hitting some parts of the northwest Bahamas as well over the next couple of days. Satellite picture showing an upper level low spinning to the east of the Bahamas. That too will be responsible for some showers late tonight. And tomorrow, the tropical wave, you can see it there, continuing to advance towards the west-northwest. That, too, will start to trigger some showers over the southeast Bahamas beginning tomorrow. Partly cloudy and warm tonight with a couple of showers developing late as a result of that mid-upper level drop. 79 degrees for your low temperature. And tomorrow, we're looking at partly cloudy and breezy with a couple of showers and isolated thunderstorms, particularly in the afternoon hours. High temperature tomorrow, about 87 degrees. And the extended weather forecast keeping you in the 90s, some 89 on Friday, getting back up into the 90s on Saturday. Showers work their way back into our forecast on Sunday with some isolated thunderstorms in the mix. Monday's the start of the next week, looking a lot better with a lot more sunshine in our forecast. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.